Hello, everyone. I'm the mysterious man who will tell you some spooky stories I've heard and also share stories sent to me from all over. Today, I'll bring you a story that was told to me. I've changed the names in this story. Now, please listen closely. The story takes place in a factory that was once a bustling place with hundreds of workers working day and night. However, after years of operation, the factory closed down and became an abandoned area overgrown with moss and weeds. Yet, strangely, guards working here have said that at night, the factory is not as silent as it seems. Creepy tales about the sound of footsteps, eerie laughter, or cries for help echoing through the crumbling buildings have sent shivers down many spines. Many believe that this factory is haunted by restless souls, the souls of workers who died due to labor accidents or unfortunate incidents during their work here. The story begins on a dark November night when light rain and dampness shrouded the entire old factory. Nom, a newly hired guard assigned to the night shift, was on duty. That night, the chill in the air made him feel uneasy from the start of his shift. Dim lights cast eerie shadows on the walls of the old workshops. Around 1 a.m., as Nom was patrolling the factory, he suddenly heard footsteps behind him. At first, he thought it might be a stray dog or some animal, but the footsteps grew louder, as if someone were walking through the abandoned buildings. Nom walked faster, filled with anxiety, and the footsteps seemed to match his pace. Near an old storage room, Nom saw a shadowy figure wearing an old worker's uniform standing in the middle of the room. The person had their back to Nom, standing motionless and oddly quiet. Nom called out, "Who's there?" but received no response. As he approached, the figure slowly turned around. The person's face was pale, with hollow eyes, and just as Nom reached out, the figure vanished, as if dissolving into the air. Terrified, Nom staggered back, feeling an icy chill seep into his bones, robbing him of the courage to continue his patrol. He quickly returned to the guardroom, but throughout the walk back, he felt an invisible gaze following him from all directions. In the days that followed, Nom always felt uneasy during his night shifts. Multiple times, he heard strange giggles or cries for help echoing through the deserted buildings. Sometimes, in the thick fog, Nom saw the silhouette of a worker in an old uniform standing quietly in the distance before disappearing into the shadows. The story of the old Bien Hoa factory grew more unsettling as other guards shared similar experiences. Some even claimed to have seen a worker's ghost on the steps of the main building, with red eyes and a sorrowful expression. Whenever that ghost appeared, the temperature dropped, and all sounds seemed to vanish, leaving a deadly silence. Some former employees of the factory mentioned that, in the final years before the factory closed, there were several labor accidents that injured workers and even resulted in fatalities. Some of these accidents were attributed to outdated machinery, but rumors swirled that someone had been caught in a large press machine, never to be fully recovered. The tale reached its peak when a group of curious youths decided to explore the old factory at night. They brought flashlights and cameras, hoping to capture some supernatural phenomena. Inside the main workshop, they felt a chilling atmosphere and sensed that someone was watching them. One of the group accidentally found an old locked room. As they pushed the door open, they saw an old table and various abandoned tools. Just as they were exploring, a clanging sound came from behind them. Startled, one of their flashlights suddenly went out, and when it turned back on, they were horrified to see a shadowy figure wearing a worker's uniform, staring at them with blazing red eyes. The group screamed and hurried out of the factory, but when they reached outside, one member noticed that their bracelet was missing. When they returned to look for it, the bracelet was lying exactly where the shadow had appeared, but the room was now empty and silent, as if no one had ever been there. Since then, the old factory became a place no one dared to visit at night. Stories of ghostly workers, cries for help, and eerie laughter continued to spread, making this location a frightening and mysterious spot. People say the restless souls still wander the old workshops, searching for peace they will never find. Anyone who enters this place at night might face the ghosts of the past and the dark secrets buried in the old Bien Hoa factory. And that concludes our story. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel to help us grow and motivate me to make more stories. Goodbye, and see you next time